Hey guys, what's going on? Welcome to this week's 10-minute training video. This is going to be a pretty cool one. We're going to be talking about mole. Right now we just started a new mole on the menu, the yellow mole from Oaxaca. So we're going to kind of dive into what is the 7 moles of Oaxaca, and then ours actually comes from the city and state of Puebla, Mexico, which is a little north of Oaxaca. I learned it in actually the convent where it was first brought out. Really cool ideas of why and how it was made. So we're gonna kind of walk through the steps of how it's made, all the 26 ingredients. I know that we always say 26, it's even on the menu, but there's actually 26. Ask Isidro because I make sure that he puts every single one of them in it. Really, there's only 2 guys, one guy in Midtown and one guy in Fountains that know the recipe and are the only ones who make it. So anyways, we're gonna go into those different things, but first I wanted to show you a video of Rick Bayless, who's just an absolute Mexican cooking superstar out of Chicago. He is in a cooking school in Oaxaca, Susanna Trilling. I was actually able to check her out and go to the school there. Beautiful ranch that she has. She's going to kind of break down how to make mole negro, but really the ideas and the steps are the same for the mole that we use. So go ahead and check this video out and then we'll get into the rest of the training.
I think of mole like a harmonious sauce, meaning there's no soloists. Kind of like its own personality by the time you've roasted and toasted and fried all the ingredients to bring out its flavors.
It's like all my clothes smell like smoke. We decided that we were going to do one show in Oaxaca about live fire cooking. And my clothes smell like smoke, not because of that show. We're doing the mole show and black mole. I mean, if you're gonna really make black mole, you gotta do it outside. You gotta build a wood fire and all that. And there's that one step that nobody believes. When you make black mole, you burn the seeds of the chilies. And you burn them until they turn black, and then you light them on fire because all their oils come out and you can catch them on fire, and then you got to burn that out because that stuff's acrid and it'll make the mole really bitter. Everybody thinks you burn the seeds, it'll make the mole bitter. No, it's the opposite. You have to burn them so that it won't be bitter. And then we went through every single step, 32 ingredients, each ingredient prepped in a special way.
Mix, we're going to cut the plantain. Mix the bread, break up the bread, put everything here with the nuts. The chilies are going to be blended separately. The seeds are going to be blended separately. The tomato tomatillo are going to be blended separately. And we're going to put the onion and garlic in here. So it's going to be the chilies, and they go through the food mill. The tomato and tomatillo, and they go through the food mill. Then the seasoning mix does not go through the food mill. And then we need chicken stock. We need to use the oil, the water from the chili. Then we need the caldo de pollo for the other blending.
And then we did all the blending and straining, 4 different preparations of those 32 ingredients, and then you cook each one of them, adding them at a special time and all that. And we turned out the best black mole I have ever eaten in my life.
Okay, Davey, what are the ingredients that go in the mole?
Put peanuts, cinnamon, chocolate, chiles, pasilla, and
shrimp soup, shrimp stew, shrimp salad, shrimp and potatoes, shrimp burger, shrimp sandwich. That's about it.
brown sugar, put almonds, I put a lot of stuff to do it. A lot of stuff.
So let's take a quick look at all the ingredients that we have in the mole. One of the most important things to take a look at is this. Each one of the ingredients plays an important part in the mole sauce. The main basic groups are these. We have chilies, we have vegetables, we have fruit, thickeners, which are going to be your seeds and nuts and breads. We have herbs, spices, and then our seasonings, one of those being chocolate. So go ahead and run through these. It would be nice if you guys knew 5 or 6 of them so you can describe to a guest. All right, David, so what exactly are you doing here with these ingredients?
I put every vegetables, put a little oil in the pot and fry like take a brown color.
What do you do with the chilies?
For the chiles, it's the same process. I put the pot, the oil, and for the chiles.
And you put that one to toast.
To toast.
And then you soak those.
And soak in the water.
So really what we have going on, if we get back to this map, is you have the different groupings, and each one has its different reason that it's in the mole. The biggest one is going to be your thickener. So when we talk about breads and nuts and different things like that, you have to remember that everything here we're either frying or we're toasting. Once we finish that, that's when we grind it down. The chili is where you're going to get the majority of your color. A lot of people, and this is one of the biggest misconceptions, is that mole is just a chocolate sauce, and really it's one of the smallest ingredients percentage-wise that we use in the sauce. The main flavor is going to come from your chilies and the different herbs and fruits and vegetables. During the grinding process, we do 2 different batches. One is the chilies, which were previously soaked in its own water. Second is all the other ingredients, your thickeners, your herbs, spice, veg, and fruit. Once we get those 2 grinded, and again, we're trying to use as little water as possible to not dilute the recipe. We take both of those ingredients, the now grinded ingredients, and we start to toast it by adding a little bit. Now, unfortunately, vegetable shortening, but if I was in Mexico, I'd definitely be using pork fat. So I'm going to go ahead and just continue to toast this down. Little by little. I really say that one of the final and last ingredients is time, because this process can take us up to a day to make. The finishing process, which is this here, of cooking it down and reducing, can take up to 4 or 5 hours. What they say, and typically kind of the rule of thumb when finishing this off, is that once you start to see the fat cook back up to the top of the mole is finished. Very, very final process. When we're ready to serve it, what we do is little by little add, a great way again would be to use a chicken broth or even a pork broth to thin it back out. Here we just use water for our vegetarians and vegans. We let it all combine, cook together with the water to get the consistency that we want, and then we use it for our enchiladas. As we wrap up here, let's just take one quick look at the 7 moles that come out of Oaxaca. We used to have the manchamantel that we used to use in our taco de carnitas. We switched that up a little bit ago. Right now, we have the mole amarillo, which is an incredible sauce. It goes great and pairs well with the salmon, as well as that cream spinach that we use. And then obviously we have the mole from Puebla, mole poblano. The enchiladas Guanajuato, our green sauce, really what that is a mole. So you could keep it just how it is with all the fresh herbs and ingredients, the chilies, jalapeno, serrano, cilantro. A lot of people, to make it a real deal mole, will toast up a little bit of pumpkin seeds to thicken that up, to give it that thickener that we talked about earlier. But really that is a mole. Something that's kind of cool, and I'm going to end with this, is that mole in the Aztec language meant sauce. So if you think about the word guacamole, guaca meaning avocado and mole meaning sauce, you get a avocado sauce. Really, that's all mole means. So a lot of people think mole means chocolate sauce, and really it doesn't. It just means sauce, and that's what we were talking about in this week's video. Take a look at it. I hope that you guys learned a lot from this, and we'll see you next time.